Hold down. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we've got on here. Me and Sam still have a full-time job in the coal power plant business, so winter time is our busy time. That's when we do all of our outages, so we don't get as much fun activities like we do during the summer. But we're back now, so it's time to get back to business. Today's video is about a little bit more luxury. We're talking about a remote start for the Ranger. You know, it's kind of crazy that these are still side-by-sides, but you know, a hot summer day, you want to be able to get in your machine, be cool. Don't want to have to wait for the AC to cool the inside down. Best thing to do is if you can just hit your button, let it start on its own. So let me walk you through the kit. This kit is from Dirty Teeth Racing. Fantastic system. They have several kits for different makes and models, but this is their security with the remote start feature for the Ranger 1500. So let me walk you through it. So first off, this kit comes with two remotes. This is a two-way remote, being that it gives you the feedback on noise, and it has a LCD screen on there to tell you, yes, I have sent the signal, yes, it's started. And also, if you have the alarm system feature, I'm armed or disarmed. When you step inside the vehicle, it's just the way you left it. So if you left the AC on, you got the AC blowing. If you left the heater on, heater's on. So that way, and it stays on for 15 minutes. So you can take the sunglasses off. So that way, if you're somewhere down south and it's hot, or up north where it's really cold, you can leave your defroster on, go inside, spend the night, wake up the next morning, turn it on, and it'll start to defrost your windshield. Or if it's hot, cools it off. So as you can see, no key in the ignition, everything's activated. It's got an anti-theft feature, so that if somebody was to jump in your machine, because like right now we don't have the door locks installed on it, and they might say, hey, I can take off in it. Well, you got to press the brake to get this out of park. So first thing I do is it's going to kill the ignition. So as soon as I press the brake to get out of gear, or into gear, it's going to kill the ignition. So good safety feature built into it. So the kit includes two remotes, one that I just showed you that has the full LCD screen, another one that's just your standard key fob with a lock, unlock, and remote start. All right, so that's enough talking. Now let's jump to the video of us doing the install, and I can kind of walk you through some of the things that we learned and the process we went through to get this boy installed. Let's get out of the wind.
There you go. No, you're good. Just stand right there where you're at. Block that light.
Oh, block it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Blinded by the light.
It was blinding me.
First step is taking the center cluster HVAC system down so we can gain access to all the good stuff. Not this guy.
Well, we're a little different on this unit because this is our test unit. So we get to explore with Tim's pocketbook.
Yeah. It's always fun when it's my money.
Yeah, when it's Monopoly money, it doesn't matter, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
You see that red and black wire that's going down there to the...
So if this is your first time installing this kit in a 1500, take your time to make sure you route where you're going to pull your wires through. A lot of ducting for the HVAC, and with our turn signal kit and all the other stuff we've installed, there was a lot of stuff we had to go around. So we took our time to make sure we didn't damage any of the existing while adding the new remote starter.
Okay, so...
Comes with a pretty comprehensive set of instructions. But I don't know about you guys, if you guys are the type of guys when you're playing on Google Maps and trying to get to your destination and it says you'll be there by 4:30 and you try to be there by 4 o'clock, that's these guys. Instruction says how to do it, we're going to do it better. Or so we say.
Those are just for
engineers to work.
guide, engineered papers that look good on.
All right, so we can put that in there, hook to the black and red wire on the wire.
Well, at least they did really good at wiring and...
What's the
So that's a bracket we got to put on the brake pedal.
It's like a sensor.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's for the alarm or what the heck that's for.
Okay.
A little micro switch.
Okay, if you'll give me some black tape, I'll tape this up to your pool line. May not even need it if I go through like that.
That should be the hardest part, and that way we don't have to with the. Whoops. We don't have to.
We're going to have to edit that one out for Ronnie. It's after 5, so he's allowed to do whatever he feels like.
We won't have to mess with any of the ducting and stuff if we can run it right there where that red and black wire went.
So you already ran it through the grommet that they. Very nice. Power and ground goes up here on top on the pulse bar.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you have to put some hock to it on there, Ronnie?
Not yet. It's coming pretty smooth. Oh, it's already out.
Oh, yeah. That's a boy. We can see it.
It's a boy.
Okay,
Congratulations, Nick.
that's about all you get, though.
Okay, that's all I need. And the siren, it ties into
This main box.
this main box. So we need to run this one back through there once we find a
Location that we want to run that. So we should, I don't know if it's easier to put all the wires plugged into it now. We're going to use and mount that one in there permanently, or
Yeah. What wires go in there?
so you have the antenna, tilt sensor, shock sensor goes
Is there a way to easily pop this off, Tim?
to get to the ignition. It says to pull this down and then get your hand in there and tilt the steering up or down. This isn't you have to pull it off. We might have to pull the clutch off like we did last time.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty.
But when you come underneath the vehicle, you've also got to get a signal from your brake master cylinder that the pedal is being pressed, just like you are right now with your machine. You've got to press the brake before it'll start. So we had to get that same signal into the remote start harness, and the Dirty Teeth Racing harness has a T harness. It's already tied into the main line. That way you can unplug your OEM brake pressure switch from the master cylinder and plug the Dirty Teeth one in, and then the OEM one in line. So that way it still operates like normal, but it gives a signal and essentially tricks the computer of the Ranger to know that, hey, the pedal is started, go to remote start. So it's on the back side of your brake master cylinder. You can pull that guard off and you can get to it. Before Ronnie was a mechanic, I think he was a vet. He's had his hands up some horses in his day. So the instructions say to wiggle your hand in this little gap to unplug your harness. As you can tell my associate, that ain't gonna work. So if you a couple push pins, take the instrument cluster up,
push pins, pop it out, nice and easy.
and you can get your hand right in there and work your magic.
Do what you need to it, huh? So the way that works a little bit better is if you just take the ignition completely out of its housing. It's literally just a locking nut that goes down in there, kind of feeds through that little hole. So that thing holds that on. If you loosen that off, then you just pull it right out and you have easy access to make sure all the things get connected right.
No struggling guessing game.
These things are kind of a pain, popping these off, but give her a little nudge. Okay. So I'm assuming this is just a loop. Plug the factory one into that, and then this goes back into
The ignition.
ignition side. Nice and snug. Okay. Make sure it's latched. And then we're back in action.
I'm really glad you wore deodorant today.
Me too. It's that New Mexico heat, you know, we gotta... One thing to note, there is definitely a lineup pin
Yep,
right in here. So
12
when
o'clock position.
you put that back together, make sure it's in the right hole so you're not having your key off. It's on the back side.
Yeah, I can see that. I can unplug it. So it's going to be one of those. Yeah.
The hardest part about doing this install is actually just trying to get the wiring through the grommets and the firewall and down to the brake master cylinder. Having an extra set of hands to help pull or push makes your life a lot easier instead of having to jump back and forth around the machine. So all the wires that come through the dash are pretty much being fed through this grommet hole. And then right here next to your master cylinder fill section, the fill cap, there's a rubber flap you can pick up and feed your brake sensor cabling. So next step is the brake switch, micro switch. All right, if I tighten that bracket, that's your switch right there. You got about a ½ an inch before it engages. So like I mentioned, you got to, part of the install you'll see when we're doing the install. That's right there, that is the micro switch that we have to install. So when you press the brake, it trips. So the last couple parts that we have to do to get the system to operate and to have the customization for the sensitivity for the alarm is one, put the tilt sensor, shock sensor, whatever you want to call that, mount that in a good central location so that it picks up any kind of movement front to back, side to side, up or down. And then for the remotes to work, you got to have an antenna so that it's one that needs to stay dry and that can get the signal from wherever you're at and feed it to the vehicle. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll show you. We ended up mounting our antenna right here with the zip tie so that it stays dry, free from any kind of moisture. We did have it lower here before, and we found out when we had it down below like that and we took it to the car wash, there was enough pressure to get in there and get that that remote wet or the antenna wet, and then it would had to be dried out before it would operate again. So don't do what I did, mount it high. We did mount our shock sensor right here. It's customizable so you can see how sensitive you want to make it. If you make it too sensitive on days like today in New Mexico where it's windy and your machine's getting tossed around outside, it'll be all alarming everybody and probably driving your neighbors nuts. So we have it turned down a little bit, but when we go to different areas and we're on heightened concern, I'll turn the sensitivity up, and that way if anybody breathes on it, it'll let me know. So I decided to jump back in the Ranger and get out of the wind because I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I hate the wind. So that's pretty much the entire kit. It's very simple. I would say it took us probably a couple hours the first time trying to do it. Hardest part, I want to say, of the entire kit is you have to put the actual module behind your HVAC control unit and trying to fit that in there with the ductwork and not to damage anything that's already there, and then feed the wires through the firewall to get power by your pulse bar. That's probably the hardest part. But do a little bit of pre-planning, give yourself some time. The instructions are great. If you're looking at adding this kit or any of the Dirty Teeth racing kits to your machine, they have them from Kubota, Can-Hams, I mean just about any machine, Bobcats, John Deere, they have them for just about any make and model out there. Reach out to Ultimate Performance UTV here in Farmington. They're a dealer for John and Dirty Teeth, and they will get you set up and get these kits sent out to you ASAP. I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other questions or comments, drop us a line below. If not, we will see you out on the trail. I think we're headed to Moab here in a couple of weeks, and we will catch you guys out there. Have a good one. Bye.